Do you want to know the one thing that can have a dramatic effect on your business and your income in 2024 that no one is really talking about? Hey, it's Mark here with the Hiller Group, brokered by eXp Realty, and my team and I have you covered here along the beautiful Florida Panhandle from Pensacola all the way through Panama City. So what is this one thing? What is this one thing that can change my complete and total life and year of 2024, Mark? Well, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. It's days on market. What do I mean by days on market? How can that change my income? Well, if you have an in-depth understanding of days on market and what that means to you as an agent, also to your buyers, and also to your sellers, right? It is crucial to understand what these days on market, how they affect your client and the home buying and home selling decisions they make. So let's dive right in, okay? Days on market. If the days on market are lower, you are in a seller's market. That means the houses are selling faster. They are not accumulating days on market, waiting for the right buyer to come along because the buyers are snatching them up rather quickly, okay? What does this mean? Why is that important? If you're a home seller, knowing how long your home is going to potentially be on the market helps you price it accordingly, right? In the last couple years, homes were moving very quickly. So you could tend to price it a little bit more aggressive because there was less inventory, there was more demand, so therefore days on market was lower. As days on market get higher, we would be shifting what they call into a buyer's market. And what that means is, as a home sits on the market, let's say 60, 90, 120, 180 days, like the new agents out there, you guys are gonna freak out when you start seeing your listing sit for 180 days. That's called normal. Like, it's not normal to be on the market for 8 hours. That's abnormal. Normal is long periods of time. But you gotta have good marketing to sustain a listing that may take a while to sell. And having a smart conversation with your seller, setting clear expectations of how long the home will take to sell is going to be crucial in how much income you make. Because if you don't tell them this information up front, you basically will be a expired agent's dream. Because they can go after all of your listings because you don't properly explain it, and you're not gonna get that listing agreement renewed if the property doesn't sell or if you haven't set clear expectations. So when a home's on the market longer, what do you think happens? What do you think happens to that seller? What do you think that happens to the actual sale of that property? It tends to sell for less, right? There's reduction usually in price because the longer a home sits on the market, usually you have to drop the price to kind of chase the buyers back down. The ones that have already looked at the house and said no because maybe they felt it was overpriced, right? Sellers have to do things like offer concessions. They may have to offer a interest rate buy down. They may have to offer to pay all the buyer's closing costs. They may offer to pay for a thing at the spa, right? A day at the spa. I mean, I've seen some crazy things thrown into deals by sellers to make the deal happen. One of the other good ones too is pay for a whole year of HOA up front for the buyer, or a couple years, or maybe pay for their flood insurance for a couple years. You see a lot of different things, a lot of creativity comes out when a seller's home sits on the market for a longer period of time. Now, days on market can affect you, the agent. Why? Because you don't want to be the agent who takes all these overpriced listings and has your average days on market, it's like 2 years while the rest of the market's at 3 months. Right? You want to make sure that you're properly pricing your homes to where that they stay within that range, and that way you can set clear expectations for your sellers. One of the other key factors in making sure you're pricing your homes properly is properly priced homes, they create more demand, right? You're going to have more buyers going after them, thus probably getting your seller more and more money for the property. One of the things to look for if you're trying to find a deal for a buyer, okay, as days on market are starting to tick up, is turn to the builders, okay? Builders will often not drop the price on properties, but what they will do is offer concessions. They'll offer to do the rate buy down. They'll offer to get you a lower interest rate because they have access to it, because a lot of them have their own mortgage company, some of the big builders here in the area. They will also throw in blinds and throw in a screened-in porch and throw in all the extras, a refrigerator, maybe washer and dryer, because they don't want to lower that price, right? The builders tend to not lower price, but they tend to throw in concessions. And the reason for that is they're trying to keep the sale prices high, because they may be in a neighborhood where they need to move some inventory, but they want to, they still have 30 other houses that are the exact same floor plan to sell. So they can't just lower this price, because that's going to affect all the future sales that they have. So a lot of times you'll see incentives that are offered. Now, the one thing you have to also think about too with days on market is seasonality. Again, for you new agents that have only been licensed less than 3 years, you may not have seen seasonality in your market. For example, our market, it tends to start slowing down in August as the kids go back to school, and we kind of see this slow down all the way through December, and then usually it starts picking back up as we enter into the spring months. Now, we're very close to several military bases, so we have what they call PCS season, which means we have an influx of military coming to our area. This creates a lot of demand for us in certain times of the year, right? So what happens is if a home comes on the market in the fall, you have less buyers looking, which means the property could sit on the market through the winter, through Christmas, through New Year's, and wait until spring when you have more people looking for houses like this one, okay? Why is that important? Well, you may see a house that's been on the market 90, 120 days, but they've seen no price reduction. And you're looking at it and you're going, well, it seems to be priced right. Well, you don't know what that seller's situation is. If they're not in a hurry to get the home sold, then they're probably going to ride the market out. Maybe they put it on just to see if they got a bite early on, but they really don't have to move till later in the spring. So they're able to wait through that low period of potential buyers and be ready for the spring market where prices tend to kind of rise back up. One of the other crucial things that you need to be aware of if you're working with buyers as days on market start to tick up, do not fall asleep at the wheel. What do I mean by that? Do not just take for granted because the house has been on the market 90 or 100 days that there's no interest in the property. And don't assume that it's overpriced. You need to make sure you're doing a CMA, make sure you're pulling comps on that property if your client's interested before you make an offer, because you may be surprised at how in the market that price is, not just on the market. And I like to use this analogy, in the market, on the market. When you're pricing a home, you need to be in the market. So when you're working with your seller, make sure they're pricing the home in the market. When you're working with your buyer, a lot of times you see an overpriced house, you can tell your buyer, hey, this house is just on the market, it's not in the market. It's a great little language separator there to kind of really explain what the market is and what the market is not. So in closing, days on market are a vital statistic that help both buyers, sellers, and agents make logical decisions in the real estate world. Looking at these days on market from the perspective of, this is going to be my hot gauge, right? Days on market, fewer days on market, the hotter the market. More days on market, the market may be cooling, or it may be a cooled off market if you get above that 120-day average. So hopefully you'll find this video helpful. If I can help you in any way grow your real estate business in 2024, please shoot me a DM. Please give me a call, text, smoke signal, whatever it is. I'm happy to help. I want to see our entire industry succeed, not only survive, but thrive in 2024.